Good afternoon and welcome to East China Schools Today. With me today I have three of our school board members, newly elected Karen Cedar, and former members Amy Murphy and Jeannie Frank. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. I'm going to start off with a question for all of you, and that is, what made you want to be a school board member, and specifically a school board member for East China School District?
Well, actually, 6 years ago, somebody asked me to run, and honestly, prior to that, it had never even crossed my mind. But when I started to seriously consider it, and I attended some meetings, familiarized myself with the current issues the district was facing, because at the time, the district had just given our outgoing superintendent a substantial voluntary termination package, closed an elementary school, and then moved for a second time our alternative high school program. And the community was desperate for some answers, some clarification, and really there needed to be some transparency, I felt. There weren't any women on the board at the time, and most of the members had been on there for many years. And I felt that being a parent with kids currently enrolled in the district, a woman and a business owner, and that I could bring on a new perspective and a different point of view. And I was also dedicated to making sure that I put the interests of the kids first in every decision I made. So I just kind of fell into my lap, and I felt like I could do the job.
And you've done a great job.
Well,
We're very,
thank you.
very happy to have you part of the board.
Thank
now,
you.
our board terms run 6 years. Some other school boards run 4 years, but East China has elected to do 6-year terms, which that's a long time. So that's a big commitment. Mrs. Murphy, what was your impetus for wanting to become a school board member?
Well, like Jeannie, I was approached by her.
Good for you.
Needed a running mate.
Yeah.
and I decided to go for it because I seen it was time for a change in this district. We needed some new, fresh direction.
Yeah, good. And again, thank you for the 6 years that you've served. We've been looking forward to the next 6 years. And our newest school board member, Mrs. Karen Cedar, welcome. What was your reason or wanting to be part of the East China School Board?
Well, I taught in East China for 29 years up at St. Clair High School, and then I retired 2017, and I wanted to stay a part of the school district, and I felt that my knowledge of how the school is run could benefit the school district, so I thought I'd run.
What did you teach for 29 years?
I started off teaching biology, and then I switched over to chemistry, and then chemistry and physics.
Great. I am also a former chemistry and biology teacher.
Yes,
so
you are.
yeah, good group. Yeah. So, Mrs. Murphy and Mrs. Frank, what have you found to be the most challenging part about being a school board member?
Okay, well, for me, it was going through the process of selecting the perfect superintendent. We have a very unique district with two diverse communities. And when I was first elected, we had an interim superintendent, and she was not interested in staying in that position, so we needed to replace her. It's a very lengthy process, a lot of time traveling across the state, the first time to visit the candidates' home schools. And then it turned out to be really disheartening when the individual that we finally settled on wasn't that perfect fit. So we began the process all over again, and luckily, the second time, I believe that we got it 100% right.
Well,
Yes,
thank you
absolutely.
very much.
Yes.
I couldn't be any more blessed or lucky to be in the position that I'm in. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. Amy, what was yours? What's the most challenging part? Because I think a lot of people don't realize what it takes to be a school board member, or actually how it operates when you're looking from the outside in. And I think
It's
that
a total different perspective.
yes, and I think that people think that things can be done quicker or in a much different fashion. And so then when you're on the board, what have you found to be the most challenging part?
To try, this is just my opinion, is trying to get the equality and bring these two distinct communities together to work together.
Yeah, and that's been fun to watch. We've had a lot of
It's come a long way.
Yeah, we've had a lot of integrated sports programming and educational opportunities for kids that pull us together, and it's fun to see the strengths of both of our communities. So, Jeannie and Amy, again, what surprised you most So what did you not expect about being a school board member that was surprising to you?
She kind of started with it. Once you're on this side of the table, it's a total different ballgame. You think you're going to walk in with all these ideas and everything is going to go smooth, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
There's a process for everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got 6 other people you got to convince to get
Right.
on your side to work with it.
Well, and part of that process on a school board is always being as completely transparent in the
Absolutely.
decision-making that you do, and making sure that every decision and every purchase and everything that we do is available for everyone to see that it affects. And so working through that and making sure that everyone knows how we're operating has always been a challenge, and it takes time. So that's part of that. Things don't move as quick as you would like them to or think that they should, but it's I believe part of that, making sure everyone understands the direction that we're moving in. Were you going to say the same thing?
Yeah, pretty much the same for me. The other thing is how political being on a school board really is. I had no
Yes.
idea. And then to piggyback on Amy, it's the length of time it takes to get anything done.
Yeah.
It's a slow process, and there's a lot of time that we have to spend on our own doing research, and then we have to be able to collaborate with our fellow board members. But I think we have a really good board right now, and I think everybody there is committed to putting the students' needs first, and we just try to get it done in as timely a manner as possible.
Well, and I agree, and
Easier
there's
said than done most of
yeah.
the time.
yeah, and there's also a lot of training that people may not be aware of to be a school board member. The Michigan Association of School Boards provides training, and you guys take advantage of that. And
It's a big help.
And it's a big help.
It is.
It's a big help, but it's also very time consuming
Yeah, it is.
to understand the processes. Karen, being the newly elected school board member, what are you most looking forward to?
I am looking forward to the consolidation of the schools.
Yeah.
I know from being a teacher that we have to come together because we just can't provide the programming in 2 different schools. We have duplication of so much and we can't afford it.
Right. When I think about the possibilities of all that we could offer, the diverse options for students, that to me is exciting too. And also, I was the principal at Marine City High School for 4 years and had an incredible time there. But also, our facilities are in a need of a lot of help
Absolutely.
and work, and so thinking about the possibility of offering a better environment for our learning environment for our students and upgraded technology. You know, when you see what's out there for students to use, I get excited about being able to offer that as well. Karen brought this up, but I want to ask each of you, how do you feel about the direction that the school district is headed? The decisions that you make help to shape the pathway that the school district is going to take, and how are you feeling about that right now?
Well, I would have to say, in 2 words, I'm scared, but I'm also very excited. And it's no secret that we're grossly underfunded by the state, and that along with our declining enrollment, deteriorating buildings, trying to keep up with the technology, it scares me. And I know that as a district in the past few years, we've worked hard to keep our continuously growing budget cuts as far away from the students as possible, but we're only going to be able to do that for so much longer, and you know, really it's imperative that we do pass a bond. And when we do, like you said, the opportunities, the benefits, that's the part that's really exciting, is what we'll be able to offer from then on.
Yeah, change is always nerve-wracking and makes people anxious. And me too, you know, when you make big changes, but I continually try to focus on the opportunities that we're going to offer, the environments that we're going to offer, the technologies that we can offer. And like you mentioned, we've worked so hard to keep any cuts that we've done, and there's been a lot of them over the past 17 years. The district has done a phenomenal job, you know, keeping their budget on track, but now we're at the point where the cuts are really close to students.
Right.
And I think it comes as a surprise to a lot of people that we need to make these cuts now because we have done such a good job of
Exactly.
keeping them away. But it's here now, and before we have to start making those, this bond would really keep us in a good place for the next foreseeable future. So how are you feeling?
You guys can.
I know,
both
I'm
of my answers.
sorry, yeah.
I think it's very positive. I think we've already made good strides at at keeping it from the students, but we just have a lot more work to do. And I think this bond will
Help us.
will be the key factor in keeping us going.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Karen?
I'm very excited. I'm very positive about it. And with all the research we've done in the past year on the Strategic Planning Committee and then on the Bond Steering Committee, to see what's out there and what we can offer our students that will
It's amazing.
exceed every other school in the county
Yeah,
and further.
Yeah, being competitive and being a top-notch district in our county and in our region is something really, really exciting and to look forward to. And my final question for each of you today is, what is the number one thing that you would like to see for East China School District? The number one thing.
Do you want to start with me?
Sure.
Okay, the number one thing I would have to say would be technology. I would love to give all of our kids the best possible state-of-the-art technology that they need in order to be able to keep up with the latest and greatest tools as they become available. You know, we love all of our kids, and we want them to leave here as best equipped and with every possible advantage as they learn throughout their time here with us, but also as they head off into their futures after graduation. And I think technology is key to that.
I agree. And by technology, I think a lot of times when I have conversations with community members, they're not understanding the depth of importance of technology, because technology is the way that we communicate with each other, the way that we run our programs and our engineering courses. Currently, we run some engineering courses that we can't load the software on because our equipment is too old.
Right.
So we're asking our students to be competitive with others in the country, but they don't have the most competitive
Tools.
equipment. So that's frustrating to me. So when we talk about being upgraded in our technology, it's on so many different levels. You know, that is important for our students' future. Mrs. Murphy, what's the number one thing you'd like to see for our district?
I would really like to see both communities come together for this.
Yeah.
For this, to realize that we need the technology, we need the new school, it's a package. And
Yeah.
once we get that package together, our kids are just going to flourish more than we've
Right.
ever imagined.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Putting all our good points together.
Yep.
Yep. Mrs. Cedar?
Well, coming third, I'm just going to reiterate on what they're saying,
Yeah.
is the consolidation, the improved technology, and the improved safety.
Yes.
Safety.
Safety is a big
Yeah.
one too.
Yes, yes, it is. It's a concern for all of us, and a new facility and upgraded facilities would allow us to put in those safety measures that would give everybody some peace of mind. So,
Absolutely.
well, thank you for being on East China Schools today, and thank you
Thanks
for
for
your
having us.
service
Thank
to
you.
East China School District, and I look forward to the next 6 years.
Yeah, thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.